Deciding on the state budget is no small task. There are several steps along the way, allowing Californians to stay engaged and weigh in before funds head to their final destination. Now, for the first step, the governor takes the lead. The California Constitution requires the governor to submit a proposal for a balanced budget to the legislature each year by January 10th. And that means that if the governor's budget exceeds the estimated state revenue generated, the governor is required to identify sources for additional funding to ensure that the proposed budget is balanced. This proposal must also be accompanied by a budget bill with itemized expenditures for each house to review. Now, from January to mid-May, full budget committees along with subcommittees in the State Assembly and Senate review the governor's proposed budget and begin to craft their revisions of the annual spending plan. The Senate Budget and Fiscal Review Committee and the Assembly Budget Committee also assign items in the governor's proposal to several subcommittees based on their issue areas. For example, education spending items would go to the Education Budget Subcommittee to conduct some of those hearings. These hearings generally begin in late February and include testimony from the governor's staff and the public. Additional feedback is provided by the Nonpartisan Legislative Analyst Office and the Department of Finance, which makes recommendations for changes by April 1st. All of this feedback then is taken into account by the governor's office, which releases a revised budget proposal by May 14th. We call this proposal the May Revise, and it gives lawmakers a clear picture of the state's fiscal situation and the proposed final budget. It's a chance for the public to weigh in during legislative hearings on the budget. Throughout all this process, the legislature can maintain, change, or reject the governor's proposals. In early June, legislative leaders in both houses will meet with the governor's office to discuss some of the outstanding issues and formulate a final budget. Per the California Constitution, the legislature must pass a budget bill by June 15th. And once that budget is passed, the governor then signs the budget package, which can issue line item vetoes on any particular spending items. The legislature could override those vetoes with a 2/3 vote in both the State Assembly and Senate. And in July, lawmakers can pass amendments and other changes to the adopted budget package, including to the next calendar year. In the fall, we begin identifying our budget priorities for the next fiscal year, while state departments and agencies develop their budget proposals to submit to the Department of Finance for analysis, and starts the budget process all over again. I hope you find this explainer helpful in understanding how California puts together its budget. It's a complicated process with many people involved, but it's necessary to ensure that our tax dollars are being spent in the most equitable and responsible way possible.